Good evening. The Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025 Conservation Commission meeting will now come to order. It is after 7 p.m. First order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 3 on the agenda calls for the approval of minutes. I have good information that the minutes are not ready. Certificates of compliance, 242-1784, Barker Street culvert replacement, looking for a COC, North Andover DPW. We're going to let Amy just give us an overview.
Okay, so this order was issued in June of 2020, and it governed the replacement of an existing collapsed 24-inch corrugated metal pipe culvert with a 4x4 box culvert to be buried 2 feet into the stream bed. Concrete wing walls at the inlet and the outlet, riprap, and relocation of an existing gas main, replacement and addition of guardrail on both sides of the street, and replacement of an existing 12-inch water line that passed underneath the culvert, installation of a beaver deceiver device, and wetland replication. Work has been done for a couple years now, I think, and we were just doing some fine-tuning with the wetland replication, and the area to the northeast of the downstream outlet was really the most appropriate place. So we got our best area there. That is growing in with native species, and the Barker Street has country drainage. They didn't change that. So the drainage patterns haven't changed on the roadway or shoulders. Erosion controls have been removed. I verified that this afternoon. So other than that, engineer Jamie Villette from Apex is here this evening. Apex was the design engineer for the project. If you have any questions, but I don't see a reason not to issue a COC.
I'll poll the commission first and see if anybody has any questions of you. Okay, so start with Marissa. All set on this?
No questions.
No, thank you.
All set, thanks.
Appears to be no problems. Ready to entertain a motion?
I move that we issue a full certificate of compliance for 242-1784 Barker Street culvert.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? None. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Sorry for my tardiness. Just want to apologize.
We're happy that you're here.
You have to do the Pledge of Allegiance backwards.
No, we'll come up with something more interesting than that. Next on the agenda is modification 242-1885, 416 Abbott Street.
This is an existing order of conditions, and it governs some after-the-fact permitting for patio construction, soil disturbance, and foundation drainage. The after-the-fact work was approved, and new work under the order involved work on the deck and stairs and turning an area of the patio within the 50 to a more pervious situation. The work is complete. There's also a big planting plan that is between the old fence and the new fence in the 25 closer to the wetland, and that area looks good. Planted this spring, and monitoring is ongoing. Modification here relates to pool-related repairs, the coping and the tile to be replaced as many areas are cracking, and the gunite needs replastering as it's showing signs of deterioration. Pool water, as per the project description, will be drained via a water truck, tiles and coping removed by hand and installed into a dump truck, and then install the new tiles, coping, plaster, gunite, and refill pool water by water truck. Project representative, the homeowner here is here this evening if you have any questions for him.
We will find out. Marissa, we'll start with you.
The fence work, is that just to allow truck access to the backyard?
I'm not sure what you're looking at.
Or was this it says remove pre-existing fence, install a new fence?
Oh, that was the pre-existing.
Yeah, that was the plan that we approved with the original order. So there was a chain link fence on the outer perimeter, which got removed, and a new fence came closer towards the pool, and everything behind the new fence got replanted.
Oh,
So
okay.
converted from lawn to a natural area. So I suspect the access for the pool work will be through the driveway and then through a section of fence to get the equipment back and forth.
Just to clarify, because I want to make sure, I think you're
Yep.
asking the same question I was going to ask. So the only new work is what's under modification request comes in, and it's the coping and the gunite? Okay, just making
Yes.
sure.
That's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's all. Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not building anything new here, we're just repairing stuff.
Yep.
All set.
Yeah, I think my packet gave you some pictures of the existing pool and areas of deterioration.
What is the timing for your, to do this repair work?
How long should the project last?
No, when do you expect to start?
Oh, hopefully next week, if possible.
Okay. Right away. How are the plantings doing?
So
Amy?
far, so good.
I was out there
Last Thursday, last Friday?
last Thursday, and they look great, so, and they're being watered, they have irrigation drip going on a timer, so,
Okay.
yep.
No more questions?
David?
I am good. Just a super dumb question, like where are the trucks going to go?
I'm planning on just using the driveway, and then there's a rather sizable gate that will just run a hose from there.
Okay, so the water truck will be sort of hosed to the front
Yeah.
from the pool. Okay, thank you, that's all.
At this point, we're ready for a motion, unless Amy has some updated information.
No, I guess, issuing a modification, it's all in-kind work, but just managing the pool water would be the main thing that
Yeah.
I'd be worried about, so maybe just attaching a condition that a water truck must be used, and not, under no circumstances should the pool be drained on site.
So Amy, on the modification certificate, I guess you will, you've listed those conditions.
Yes.
So when we
I
vote,
will.
that's already recorded.
It will be.
Will, what you
Yeah.
want.
Just
If,
want
yeah,
to-
yeah. Okay, I'm happy that's cleared up. We're still ready for a motion.
I move that we grant the modification request for 242-1885, 416 Abbott Street with the conditions as noted.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? I hear none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and that is unanimous.
Great, thanks for coming in. I'll have that to you probably the end of the week.
Great, thank you.
All right, thanks for coming in.
Request for determination of applicability 117 Katuitt Street. This is also a swimming pool.
Yes. This project entails installation of an above-ground pool and installation of a patio. It's an 18-foot by 52-inch saltwater above-ground pool. Some digging of lawn will be necessary to level the area where the pool is to be located. A certified electrician is going to install a GFC1 outlet 6 feet away from the pool. Also, there's There will be a 17-foot by 14-foot raised patio using concrete pavers next to the existing back deck. It's not immediately adjacent to the pool, as you can see, it's separate. No equipment will be used, all digging will be done by hand. Materials and stockpile area will be located in the driveway and no dumpster will be needed. Homeowner will be performing all work and is attending this meeting. Distances to wetland at the rear of the property and adjacent intermittent stream to the side of the house are verified in the field with all work outside the 50-foot no-build zone. A recommendation is to close the hearing and issue a -3 determination with the following conditions. Erosion controls consisting of 75 feet of staked 8-inch straw wattle shall be installed prior to construction with instruction by conservation staff. Pre-construction site visit with staff and the homeowner to review the installed erosion controls and review scope of work. Any changes to the scope of work must be reviewed with the Conservation Department prior to implementation, and post-construction site visit with staff to verify stabilized conditions for erosion control removal.
Very good. Chris?
All set.
There's a fence that's identified that's 56 feet from wetland, but it looks like it goes a lot closer than that to the stream. Is that a proposed fence or is that an existing fence?
That's an existing fence.
Existing fence?
There is a big drop off in elevation on the other side of that fence.
You mean on the stream side?
Yes.
I would say leave the back too, the whole thing, like past that fence, it just dips over.
Okay. It just looks like that fence on the side near the stream is probably within the no disturb zone. So that's not part of the project, but it's troublesome that it's there, and well, we'll have to deal with it.
Well, since you bring it up, I'm happy to talk about it. I don't consider a fence to be a structure. And it's something that this commission has argued over in the past at many meetings with respect to what is a fence and what isn't a fence. We order, on the routine day, we order people to build stone walls along the no disturb zone to keep anything out. Because we say we don't want you in the no disturb zone. This, if it's correctly called out at 52 feet, we have to.
The pool is 52 feet at the
Yeah.
closest. The fence at the back is 56 feet, but the stream on the side, it's probably, would you say, in the
It's-
25
Yeah, the fence on the other side is
to the
within the
stream?
twen- to
On
the stream,
on the
not the
side-
back.
On the side.
I see it.
Yep.
I don't know, I mean, I don't know if we want to make anything out of it. I don't see the issue.
Well, that's the only potential issue I see. I mean, the layout seems to work.
I got you, I understand.
How old is the fence?
What's that?
How old is the fence?
It's about 6 years.
And you installed it? You guys installed it?
Yes.
Okay, David?
I am fine with it the way it is, yep. No questions.
No questions, thank you.
Any redirects? Anybody want to redirect, or?
I guess I looked at Mass GIS and it's not listed as a stream. Is it more just like a drainage?
It's an intermittent stream. It's
Okay.
not, yeah, it's not a,
So it doesn't
Yeah.
qualify as a riverfront?
no,
No.
it does not qualify as
All
a
right,
riverfront.
very good, very good. That's even makes it even more clear.
And there's no BBW to it, it's just straight.
Yeah, it's
right?
just, it's literally just a little stream because it's going down a hill. Yeah,
Looks like it goes from the street back to the
yeah, it does.
larger stream in back.
Motion, anybody?
I'll make a motion to approve the RDA with a -3 determination and the conditions as recommended by staff.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? I hear none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
242-1882, 350 Winthrop, DSM Realty Trust for an amendment. Thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give just a quick overview. Brian Dundon, the design engineer with R.J. O'Connell, is with us this evening, and he can fill in the gaps, but I'll just give you an overview. So this order was issued in March of 2024, and it governs a redevelopment of this plaza, the Market Basket Plaza. The two storefronts are switching sides. The parking lot received reconfiguration, updated stormwater management, and islands and traffic reflow, some work in the back for loading docks, and a scour out area where a large culvert exits in the back of the property where there's a stream. So they are at the point where maybe, is it early fall that Market Basket is going to open up? Is it the end of the summer or early fall?
Summer, yes.
And so they were going to get the final coat of paving on in the southern part of the parking lot, and they noticed that there was breakout at the seams of the up at the course base layer, and also the areas where equipment was parked. They were looking at sinkholes happening with groundwater standing. So groundwater's closer than was previously understood. So they're basically proposing a parking lot under drain to give preferential flow paths for the groundwater to get out to the unnamed perennial stream at the front of the property. They're also proposing to do some regrading at the very northerly bioretention area to get positive flow out of the what do you call that? Part of the first part of the well, no,
The wet basin,
the wet basin, but the
forebay.
forebay, that's what I was looking for, thanks. So those are the components, and I'll let Brian fill in the details if you'd like, because I did very basic, so.
Less is more, Councilman.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Brian Dundon. As Amy indicated, I'm the project manager with R.J. O'Connell and Associates. I have with me tonight Mr. James Lamp, the project representative from DSM Realty. Just to expand upon what Amy was speaking about is, right now the condition of the site is under construction. We are looking to open up the new Market Basket. As we were preparing the southern end of the parking lot area, which is essentially from, if you just took the front of the proposed the new Market Basket location and went in a southerly direction to the intersection, the signalized intersection, that area, that entire area of the parking lot is ready to receive its final finished course, pavement, be striped, finish the landscaping, in time to open the new Market Basket store. That was the wishes of Market Basket. About 3 weeks ago, I received a call from the contractor who was beginning to prep this area and observed the base course pavement where the joints are between each layer. There's water seeping through at the joints, as well as seeping around the edges of the curbed landscaped islands that were keyed in with concrete. a couple of pieces of equipment, mostly compressors, were in this area, standing on jacks. And what was happening is there was a couple 2-inch diameter holes were broken through the base course pavement, and groundwater was observed. Based on my review of the situation, it appears that we have a perched water table situation at the shopping center. I don't think I need to remind you, but April and May were pretty heavy with rainfall during those 2 months. We probably got over 10 inches of rain in that 2-month period. And then we got hit with a heat wave towards the end of June. I think coupled with those two factors, with the pavement being soft and only having about a 2.5-inch layer down, the jacks of the compressor equipment penetrated through the pavement and allowed us to kind of observe that groundwater wasn't too far below that. So the site has a history of poorly draining soils to begin with. We thought this condition wasn't going to arise because it's been in a base course paving situation since November of last year, and I've been doing regular periodic visits and did not encounter any issues. So what we're trying to do now is be proactive. We understand we have an issue. What we would like to do is install a pavement subdrain system, which consists of installing a 6-inch diameter perforated pipe and 18 inches of crushed stone at 50-foot intervals. It is shown in the heavy dashed lines on the plan behind you. We did look, and it's planned for the southern half of the parking lot, which is currently has been under construction. We would like to seek approvals that should the northern half of the parking lot, which is in its current existing undisturbed state, if the soils are consistent, which I think they will be, that we would like to extend the drainage, the subdrain system to the northern half of the field to alleviate any potential problems in the future. The discharge point, I guess, is the biggest issue that we had. We did look at a number of locations to try to drain the subdrain pipes network. The only viable location was just to the south of the sediment forebay, which I believe is for wet basin 1. We need to penetrate, it'll go underneath the parking lot, and then it'll outlet to the perennial stream. We did look at trying to avoid penetration to the stream, but due to the existing elevations and site constraints, we weren't able to find another suitable location. So what we did do is there is a closed pipe network at the back of the store. We looked at trying to, by gravity, get the under-drain system to discharge into that system. The problem is there's a 4-foot change in elevation, whereas the elevation of where we need to be with the subdrain system is 4 feet lower than the lowest invert of the closed drainage system, so it's too high. Conversely, we looked at maybe an outlet on the southern end where the wetland, within the wetland resource area adjacent to the perimeter site driveway. Again, that elevation is around elevation 30, and we need to be around elevation 24, so it was just too high to get a gravity flow to that condition. And the same condition follows through on the northern end of the site as well. So after evaluating all the alternatives available to us, the only alternative left was to install a 6-inch discharge that would discharge into the perennial stream. We are cognizant of the fact that that stream is a full flowing stream. It also does adjust. Water does come up and down during peak rainfall events. So we are proposing that at our discharge point that there will be a flap valve installed on our outlet. With whole purposes is that when groundwater is discharging into the stream, or when the stream raises an elevation, it will not surcharge the subdrain pipe network and then start flooding underneath or saturating water condition underneath the parking lot area. So that's kind of the concept as to where we are with that. Again, I was at the site 2 weeks ago, and it was pretty noticeable that if we do not do anything now or take this proactive steps, we would be in front of you 2 years from now because the entire perimeter road would be probably beaten up with potholes. The second request is part of a previous work that was done at the shopping center. There were 2 concrete culverts installed underneath both the signalized intersection and the exit-only driveway intersection. My attention is focused on the exit-only intersection and exit-only driveway. What we have been observing is as part of that work, there is 2 grass swales that outlet into a bioretention area. That bioretention area discharges to the perennial stream. So what we have noticed, again, specifically, is probably attributed to the heavy rains that we got in April and May, is that during my visits out there, I noticed that during these heavy rainfall events, water was building up and not draining within the bioretention area, which then surcharged back into the wet basin, which surcharged back into the sediment forebase. So there's no flow of water getting out of the bioretention area. So what we would like to do, again, and be a little bit proactive here, is to modify or refine the grading within the bioretention area. So there's a grass channel that channels the water down to the riprap discharge point that it goes to the intermittent stream, well, excuse me, the perennial stream. I will make note that we did have a meeting, reviewed these ideas with Amy. Amy took it to the town's consultant, Horsley Witten, and we have received, they have reviewed our plans and our narratives and have provided us with their support that what we were proposing, they were in agreement with. The project also required a change or approval from the planning board to make these changes as described herein. We did receive that approval last Tuesday evening. The approval is conditioned on obtaining approval from the Conservation Commission to amend the existing order for this project. So in summary, that's kind of the project at hand. Just trying to take care of a latent field condition and try to resolve this matter sooner rather than later, and so that we can move forward with finished paving. There is, Macapasca would like to open as soon as possible, so we're looking to get this pipe network in, get it paved and striped, and they can begin the transformation from the old store into the new store.
Okay, thank you. I guess our engineers are going to earn their money tonight, so.
Question on, I think it's the bioretention basin that's to the south of the exit only. Is there any work proposed there, or is it all on the other side of the driveway?
We had, under our approval, we planned on modifying some grading, or do minor grading around the perimeter at the riprap outfall from the wet basin into the bioretention area. We were expanding it. The thought process was, hey, once it discharges the wet basin, it'll discharge into the bioretention basin, which then will go into the stream. So all we're doing is working within the limits that we got previously approved. We're just trying to modify the grading to get a little bit of a flow channelized flow to the riprap stone.
So you're only doing the northerly basin, not the one on the south side of the exit?
That is correct.
Right, so no changes to this one, but modifications to the northerly one on this side.
Okay. And I guess the reason why I ask is just, it doesn't seem like this area is like really stabilized or draining. I don't know if you like noticed that as well, so I didn't know what your thoughts were on that.
Clarify?
It seems like this area is also, Amy, do you want to point to it?
These two?
Yeah.
That they're full of water all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not stabilized, it's all dirt, so and there's active stormwater discharging there, so I didn't know if that was contributing to the problem. Maybe sediment was washing downstream or something.
Okay, so that basin, what has happened is these basins were finished in the winter of December of last year. The site contractor, Continental Paving, was in these basins about 3 weeks ago. They drained them down, fine graded them, The areas were seeded and then left. Now we're waiting for the stabilization to kick in. With respect to them potentially discharging silt or construction-related runoff into the perennial stream, I'm not noticing any of that happening. We're out there every 2 weeks looking at this, and during the heavy rainfall events. The BMP structure is actually operating as intended. The only issue right now is that you will see some periodic puddling along the perimeter access drive, and that is because the finished course of pavement is not installed yet, so there is a little lip with the curb that kind of holds water back a little bit, but we have kind of cleaned it up. We still have to do some repair work around the fence area, but that's sediment forebay, and the main basin one has been drained down, and it's been mucked out and graded to the elevations, the design elevations, and by my site visits, it appears to be working as designed.
So they're wet basins.
So they're both wet basins. They're intended to always be wet, and then the sediment forebay will have water in it, but at points, it will have water in it only because of the soil conditions. There's a lot of silts and fines in the soils, but during the summer months, through evaporation and water, eventually if we don't get a lot of rain, it'd be normal it could be dry at some point.
Still thinking, but you can jump in.
This under drain system, it's got no connection to surface runoff, right?
That is correct.
Can we condition that it is also not allowed to ever accept surface runoff? 'Cause I can see at some point in the future, someone looking at a clean out, being like, hey, it's drain here. So we would like that to not happen. How about outlet control for our outfall for this drainage system? Do we have anything,
So,
energy dissipation, riprap?
yeah, so, Horsley Witten recommended that, actually, no, that's bioretention, never mind. I had asked about some sort of scour protection, it would, so I don't know if you can speak to that.
Yes, so what the intent is that when we will penetrate the bank, there will be a little bit of a concrete head wall, 2 foot wide, 2 foot deep, 2 foot high, which the pipe will come into, and then there'll be riprap stone from the invert of that pipe down to the bottom of the bank, and it'll extend for 5 feet on either side of that pipe. So there'll be 10 linear feet of the bank will be riprap stone. It'll also be riprap stoned to the bottom, from the invert of the pipe, or the outlet of the pipe, to the bottom of the perennial stream.
We are talking about the same thing. This is for the under drain outlet?
Yes,
Okay, great.
yes.
I assume there's a detail for that in the plan
Yes.
somewhere.
I think it's C9. If you look at so that's the concrete collar on how the 6-inch pipe will come into. So there'll be a concrete face, 2 feet, and then 5 feet on either side. There'll be stone. There is a section view down below, right there, that just shows the outlet with the stone along the edge of the perennial stream.
How's your flat valve going to work with that?
Excuse me?
How's the flat valve going to work with that outlet?
Yeah, so, I mean, again, the whole purpose is as water from the
Yeah.
under drain, it's just letting it out. All we wanted to do is that the water in the perennial stream is going to fluctuate
Oh, yeah.
based on rainfall intensity,
I
so.
get how the flap gate works. I was wondering how it's going to be installed on that head wall. Was that included on there?
Yeah, it's gonna be mounted, yeah, we showed, it'll just be mounted, screwed into the face of the collar. So if you go back up to, so you'll look over there, what we have is 2 hinges at the top of the discharge pipe. And, yeah, right there, 2 hinges, and it'll just open up when water's coming through, and then when when no water's coming through, it'll be in a closed state.
Okay, I'm good. I don't know if I've ever seen one on that much of an angle before.
It's all plastic. There's going to be a corrugated plastic valve. It's a fitting that that will slide in over the corrugated plastic pipe.
So it won't float with the water in the stream? You know what I
No,
mean?
no. It's-
Okay.
We should be all set.
Okay.
Yeah, that check valve, if you will, is a device that is known to fail frequently. I think I understand what you're doing, and I agree with the goals. I think maybe it would be a good idea to include in your operation and maintenance plan inspection and servicing of that check valve. Because what's going to happen is, you know, there's stuff comes down there, there's sticks and things and rocks and all, and it'll get jammed open, and then there'll be potential for backflow, which you're trying to prevent. So I think it's a good idea to modify the O&M plan to include that specific
Sure.
location. That's all I have.
Good?
Yep.
David?
No, sir?
All set, thank you.
I have one. I'd like you to address the waiver request, specifically what it is you need the waiver for and how you got to that alternative.
Okay. The waiver request is because we're working within the 12-foot no disturb zone. It should be noted that before the renovation started, there was an existing pavement within the 12-foot no disturb from the perennial stream. As part of this project, we were taking that out. So all of that work, essentially all the work associated with the under drain system really technically falls under the current order and conditions. So we're asking for a waiver from for disturbance of the 12-foot no disturbance zones, because we need to penetrate a 6-inch pipe into the side of the perennial stream, as there is no other viable connection point on site. So that's what the waiver is for. The waiver is to impact the bank of the stream, which is also located within the 12-foot no disturbance zone, to be able to properly drain the pipe network.
So is that basically creating a point source discharge within the stream?
It will be a point source discharge in the stream to deal with a fluctuating groundwater condition.
And there's no alternative to that?
There is no alternative.
Amy?
Well,
Your take on that?
It's groundwater, so
Yeah.
it's not considered untreated stormwater.
It's not gray water?
It's, I don't know.
I mean, I'm just,
No, I know.
we're talking about,
I know.
it's being described as a perennial stream.
Yep,
A lot of us know it as just a ditch in the parking lot, but
yeah, but it flows all the time.
it's,
Yeah.
those of us that shop there
Yep.
avoid the ditch at all costs. It just seems,
I mean,
it seems counter
No, I know.
to what we talk about all the time with respect to point source discharges. We'd like to have some type of a spreader or
Right.
something to mitigate the flow. We don't, what do we anticipate the rate of flow will be?
Technically it'd be negligible because it's groundwater, but in an extreme event where,
Yeah.
if the 6-inch pipe was flowing full,
Yeah.
you're looking at about a half a CFS. So
Looking
the
at
flow,
what?
0.5 CFS.
Okay,
So it's very, very low flows, and again, so to mitigate that, we recognized that we're along the bank, that we were just rip-wrapping the side slope of the bank to act as a energy dissipator to minimize the flow before it gets into the stream.
If I can jump in
Sure.
real quick. Jim Lamp, I'm an engineer with LT Development representing DSM. This is, I guess the easiest way to look at it, this is like a foundation drain. This is, when we first put it in, there's going to be a little bit of flow because we're going to be lowering the groundwater underneath the parking lot. But after that, it's literally just gonna be a trickle. It's, what we saw this spring was that the stream came up with all the storms and the rain, and when we had all of our issues with groundwater in the parking lot, it was like a week or two afterwards, because it takes so long. We're in a valley between two big hills. It takes so long for that groundwater to get to where it is, so it's in a delay. So the storm will fill up that stream. That stream empties out pretty quick because it's a pretty small watershed. And when this thing, once we get that groundwater down, it's literally going to be a trickle. I don't even think it was going to flow half an inch full. It's just going to be moist.
The intent is for it to be a permanent condition, a permanent fixture.
Correct. It's going to be permanent.
And refresh my memory again, where is it going now?
Right now, it just gets to the stream through the groundwater. It ultimately gets to that same stream. It just flows underneath the parking lot, and it's too close to the pavement, so we're not able to get the right compaction on the gravels.
So how do you manage it when it becomes more than a trickle?
I don't think it's not going to be, but there's riprap there. It will not be flowing like a sump pump would flow out of a basement foundation or something like that. It is just there to control the groundwater, and once the groundwater lowers, we don't anticipate it flowing full at all.
No fail-safe system for this?
I'm not sure what a fail-safe system would be.
When it exceeds your plans, when your best laid plans?
Well, I mean, engineering is engineering. This is belts and suspenders, to be honest.
Okay.
Some people would say what you do is you go in and you dig out all the clays and all the bad materials. We'd be chasing it, too deep.
Okay.
There's no way to stabilize the parking lot. And what our geotech thinks happened was this parking lot we didn't really have problems with for years and years. That's why we didn't anticipate this would be an issue.
Yeah.
But with all the heavy equipment, what it does is it kind of activates that clay. And then once it's activated, it keeps moving until you dry it out. And that's what we're doing, is we're drying it out. So to be fair, I really don't think there needs to be one. That's what this is. This is the fail-safe.
Okay.
Valve on this thing, on the outlet?
I'm pardon?
Is there a valve on the outlet?
Just that flat
Just a flat
gate
valve.
that he has, which I think is also like belts and suspenders. We think the stream's going to come up and go down, and then the groundwater will come up sometime later as the groundwater works its ways off the hill.
So if the water's coming out there like a fire hose, say he's wrong, your worries come to fruition. If we make them put a valve in there somewhere, they can just turn it off.
I mean, I'm not trying to reinvent the project. I'm just asking the question that is, as well pointed out and well understood, you guys are at the bottom of the valley. You've always been the recipient of all the water, as long as I've been old enough to understand where water goes. That's where it goes. It goes to your parking lot. That's how that ditch became a perennial stream. I'm sure it wasn't anything before the parking lot. So, I don't know, it's just, it's either that or the river in the, behind the building, right?
We can't get it there.
And you can't get it there.
It's too high.
All right, I just thought I'd ask, we have a lot going on here, so I thought I guess one of the reasons it was important to me to ask the questions is that you need a waiver for this thing to fly. So the first thing that we have to do here as commissioners is we have to consider and vote on the waiver, provided someone moves that. So that is the genesis behind the discussion.
Okay.
So without any new information, I think that we should consider talking about the waiver, because we need to vote on it before we can go forward. Anybody moved, wants to talk about the waiver? Wants to move the waiver?
I move that we grant the waiver request for 242-1882. With conditions as discussed.
Motion and a second. Further discussion? None. Pardon me?
This is just for the
This is,
waiver?
we're talking about the waiver right now.
Okay, because
And
I wanted to add.
If we don't
condition.
approve the waiver,
It's all.
Yeah.
they have to go back to the drawing board, so.
Jack, just to make sure I understood the motion, when you say conditions as discussed, you're talking about the modification to the M and O around checking that flap? Is that what you're?
That's the only difference from what was proposed originally.
Just want to make sure I understood what.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have another condition. Can we, are we talking about, we're just talking about the waiver?
Just the waiver.
Okay,
We're on
sorry.
the motion, we're on the waiver,
Just the
and
waiver.
we're in discussion of the
Okay.
motion. So you're on fair game to talk about any aspect of it, if you want to.
Can we add a condition that the pavement subdrain stone is wrapped in fabric?
Let's, anybody feel strongly one way or another about that? The question is to add that condition to the waiver language.
Could you just explain why you would ask for that?
If I can also jump in on that, is that okay?
You-
Mr. Chair?
I'll
We
tell you what,
did have it designed.
You go first, and then we'll talk.
Okay, we did have it designed with fabric at first, and we
Okay.
talked to our contractor, and his issue is that he thinks that it's gonna fail over time because there's so much clay and silts there, that the fabric will clog up and it will no longer be effective. So what they did was they asked us to go to a smaller stone, and he says that that will last much, much longer than having the fabric there. But the original design had the fabric wrapped around Amerifi fabric 140N around it, and he suggested that that was the wrong way to go about it in this instance, because the silts are so heavy on the site.
Then the alternative, though, is that the silts are getting into the pipe and going into the perennial stream.
He felt that there was an adequate amount of stone, that there won't be that much movement, but he was afraid that the fabric would get clogged on the outside. It's literally
He's
one
afraid
of
it's
the
gonna
first
get
times I've
clogged
ever
with the
run
stuff
into
we
it.
want to
but-
prevent from going
Yeah.
directly into the stream.
I understand both points. No, I'm not an engineer, but I get what you're looking for, and I understand his answer.
Yeah.
I would definitely defer to you guys on that.
So, the motion, we have a motion and a
Can I ask a question? Just about logistics and how you're getting this system in. You're not gonna take up all the pavement, you're gonna do strips and do the
No,
trenches?
all the pavement has to be.
All the pavement has to be removed.
This is a big deal. We are ripping out all the
Okay.
pavement.
That's a little different than what I thought. I thought
We
they were
talked
trenching.
about that, but the fear was that if they didn't do it in kind of a mass, we would end up with a bunch of reflective trenching going through the pavement. So they're ripping it up. They're gonna treat it like all new pavement. This is a big oops.
Somebody's unhappy.
All right, so
Okay.
it's, you have the ball right now.
Me?
Your request to modify the,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So the original design had the fabric, and what size stone?
It was 3/4 inch.
Three-quarter.
Now it's 3/8.
And now it's 3/8?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, just curious.
Brad, what's your thoughts?
Probably the same as you, going,
Yes.
so where we're at, just in case you lost place, we have a motion and a second to grant the waiver.
Okay,
We're in discussion on the motion and the second. We haven't called the vote yet.
okay.
The discussion has gone to Marissa where, to talk about wrapping fabric. That's where we're on hold right now.
Okay.
So give us a second
Sure.
to deliberate here.
you'd have to answer for this to grant the waiver portion.
We don't, I don't think so. We don't have to answer this to grant the waiver, right?
Pardon me?
We don't have to answer this to grant the waiver, or do we?
Well, here's my understanding. If they don't get a waiver,
Yeah.
I think that without the waiver, they have to change their project.
No, but I mean, we can grant the waiver and then discuss about
We're not
the
done with this
conditions.
project once we grant the waiver.
At the end, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
If the waiver is granted, the project still needs to be voted upon
Yeah.
uh, as an amendment.
So what she's talking about doesn't worry about him
Yeah.
going into the 25 to build this.
Either way, they're gonna have to do that, it's just a matter of,
Yeah.
yeah, I get what you're saying.
So yes, I also understand what you're saying. So we can vote on the waiver,
We bought ourselves
and
some
still, if you want to improve the project later on, we can find a,
Okay.
so you don't want to wrap it right now. You leave the project as it is for the waiver purposes.
For the waiver, yes.
For the purposes of the waiver, so
Yes.
everybody understands what we're voting on. Voting on the waiver, specific, no changes, no additions, no deletions, no nothing. Okay,
Well, except for the condition that we discussed about modifying the O&M, sorry, I said M and O again. The MO, we're gonna modify the MO. Okay, got it.
Well, that can be part of
That could be part of
that's,
the.
yeah.
Oh, that's, got it.
Yeah, this is,
Sorry.
we're just on a motion.
I am just muddying the waters.
We're on a narrow flight path here for the motion there, for the.
Come on.
All right, so does anybody here at the table have any other thoughts concerning the waiver specific?
No, sir.
Okay, all those in favor of granting the waiver signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and that's unanimous. It's unanimous to grant the waiver. You have your waiver.
Thank you.
Now what do you need from us?
Vote for the amendment.
The vote.
So this is where the commissioners ask more questions. Whether or not, because the order of conditions remain intact on the project.
Right. And then we'd add conditions.
The amended order of conditions, we're gonna generate an amended order of conditions tonight?
Yeah, I have,
Are we gonna deliberate on that tonight?
well, I was hoping to,
Yeah.
if we could.
Yeah.
I have a draft, like findings and
Yeah.
description of what it is, and then, because I had no idea what kind of conditions you guys would want to.
Well, I guess that's
So
where,
we can develop them tonight and vote on them.
without a document though, you're talking, all right, so, are you engineers on point here?
Yes, sorry.
We have, the order of conditions stays as it is, however, we're gonna issue a superseding order of conditions with respect to the amendment.
Okay.
So that answers your question of can we still regulate in some way, shape, or form? The answer is yes, we can. Amy doesn't have a draft order ready to go, do you?
Well, I mean, I have the findings and project, you know what I mean? And
Well-
then we could fill in,
Well, if Marissa decides to add new language,
yes.
you don't have it yet, because she hasn't,
Well, we develop it tonight, because there's no
That's-
way I could have
no,
thought up
so,
conditions.
so we're doing that, we do that now?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so if you have something new, now's the time.
Yes, so I would recommend a condition that the bottom and sides of the trench are wrapped in stone.
In
Or
fabric.
fabric, thank you.
So not the pipe, but the outer part of the trench.
Yes.
Can you think of an argument against that? Because, I mean, all you're doing, I see it's undisturbed subgrade, so it's just dirt there, right?
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, we're not gonna say, no or yes. It's just, we're doing the best we can to stabilize it, and I've been doing this for 40 years, and to be honest, this is the first time I've had this suggested to me. But these guys are in the field all the time, so I took their knowledge and their field expertise and took that to heart and said, you guys have done this all the time. They're highway guys.
Yeah.
They do roads and highways all the time. But we're not gonna die on that hill. I'm not gonna die on that hill. We'll wrap it, we'll do whatever the commission says. I like the idea of at least keeping a side open. I think that's
Yeah, just
good.
the top.
But whatever the board's pleasure is, we'll make that happen because we gotta do our best to get that groundwater down.
Yeah,
The
interface with-
underdrain has to happen. We just have to
Yeah.
figure out how to make it work the best.
No, we understand, and it's just where it's discharging right into the stream. I just
Understood?
Okay.
don't want the
So,
fines.
do you have a spec for what type of fabric?
They can probably
Verify
provide.
It's 140 N, right?
Yeah.
Verify Verify 140N is a typical filter pattern to choose.
Is that acceptable to you?
Yes, absolutely.
Some people call it Merathi.
Marafi,
Yep.
okay, 140, okay.
All right.
Okay, so sides and bottom of the trench up
Yep.
against the dirt,
Yep.
and then you put your stone, you put your stone, pipe, stone.
And if you want to go back to 3/4, that's fine. If that's
I'll
cheaper.
ask the contractor, does that?
I just don't want you to have to come back because you change
Yeah, I
your stone
mean,
size.
Well, we can
yeah.
add
Yeah,
that.
it's one of those-
Creates
Yeah.
on 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll revise the detail and give you an updated sheet so you have it, so.
I'm gonna talk to the
either or.
contractors as soon as
We just want to
get
give you
out
the
of here, and I'll find
flexibility,
out.
not worry about it.
I would assume since we have an end open, they'll keep it as a smaller stone.
And obviously, it's washed,
Yes.
triple
yes,
washed.
Yes.
Individually.
Right.
Is it expected that we close this tonight, or are we continuing? I hear them saying they want to open the store.
I know.
What do we need to do here?
Well, I tried to expedite as much as I could, so having like the findings ready.
Yeah, no,
But then again, I didn't know what you're gonna do for conditions, and that's what we're doing right now.
let me see if there's
so-
any other new stuff coming out.
Seems like we have two conditions, two new things to add to the amendment. The fabric question and the valve, the check valve question, so.
For the O&M, yeah.
And I think we can do that and do it
Yeah.
tonight, right?
I want my surface runoff one for the underground system as well.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
We can, Amy, we can close tonight and vote on the order of conditions at the next meeting?
Or we
Are
can
we
vote
within
on
the
these
time?
conditions and I can just issue it.
You feel you have enough there?
Yep, that's how we used to do it in Beverly,
Well,
the
you're
same
over-
night, so I just,
You ain't in Beverly no more.
I know, but it's not like something I've never done before. I mean, I understand what you are all talking about.
I'm just concerned.
And I can pass by language,
No, I'm not questioning you.
Before I-
My
no.
only concern is that when we're done tonight, we produce a product
Yep.
that everybody understands.
That's right, yep.
Okay, I don't want us to close
Yep.
an issue and have an order of conditions swirling around in the wind out there, nobody
Yep.
knowing what we're doing.
yep.
So I guess when I'm looking to you, I'm asking at the same time, do we have enough to do it? Does anybody else on the commission have any other conditions they want to promulgate? So at this point, this is my job to generate a motion.
So it is a public hearing, so I don't know if anyone has anyone.
Is there anybody from the public who wants to be heard on this project?
Okay,
I hear none.
okay.
We're ready for a motion.
Motion to approve the amendment to 242-1882 with conditions as described.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve with conditions as drafted. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, and that's unanimous. You're all set.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I could just add one more thing. These guys, obviously the store, they're hoping to open within a month. That's what their goal is. Continental is geared up to get that done. I would ask that the board consider, or at least understand it, what they're going to try to do is get this parking lot done. And if we hold off on the connection to the stream, that last 10 feet, all it is we're putting gravel underneath the parking lot. So I'd like the board to understand that what we would like to do is get going on the main parking fields.
So we just approved your amendment. So it's now just a question of how fast it can be.
No, but there's a lot of work that can be done is outside the wetlands buffer that they can BOMAG and get the pavement out. And the way I look at it is, it's almost like me saying I want to put 6 more inches of gravel under the pavement. The Conservation Commission really shouldn't have a concern with that, and these guys can get that
Are you concerned that we're
work
going to
done.
parachute in and shut the project down?
I'm hoping not. I'm hoping not. It's, you're going to
Sounds to
see
me
it
like you're
gear
all
up
set,
pretty
especially
darn
with
quick.
non-jurisdictional stuff.
Pardon me?
Parachutes?
I have one
We
ready to
don't
go.
know. It's not in the budget.
I have my own, thank you.
So what they'll do is they'll hold off on, that last connection pipe and the work that's outside the pavement. Everything else, they're gonna hit pretty hard.
Yep.
Sounds reasonable to me.
We appreciate your understanding of that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. All right. We're at notices of intent. 242-1912, 430 Oscar Street, North Andover High School, Town of North Andover, DPW, continued from 7/9/25. Now, is this the pipe repair?
Yes.
Okay.
Alrighty, so from the last meeting, one of the main issues was soil management, or excavated soil management. Town engineer met with the contractor, FP Riley, who will be doing the job. So they walked, FP Riley will be doing the job.
Okay.
They walked the site this morning, discussed, means and methods and areas for stockpile. So we have an updated plan that shows that. Jamie Villette from Apex Companies is here, and she provided an email with some additional explanation based on John Borgesi's site visit this morning. So proposed stockpiling will occur outside the 50-foot buffer zone and placed on a protective cover, either wetland mats or plywood, over the turf with an erosion control berm surrounding the stockpile area. And then access will be off of Chickering Road. A mid-size excavator is anticipated to be used to complete the work. Additional wetland mats will be placed on the turf to limit disturbance from equipment and distribute loads.
So, Mr. Chairman, I just want to make sure I understand. So, did we already approve where are we in terms of what we need to do as next steps?
So we needed additional information before we close the hearing.
Understood,
So
yep.
we can, if this is sufficient, we could close the hearing tonight, and I do have a draft decision ready.
Okay, and is there a waiver in this one as well? A separate,
A
waiver request of written
yes.
alternatives analysis?
Yes. So they have to get down to the pipe discharge outlet, and that's gonna be footwork, right? That's all gonna be manual.
Yeah, it's all gonna be footwork in order to pull the liner through, and then they'll cut the remaining liner off at the outfall, and they'll have a winch maybe on some type of dolly to pull it through, but it's all temporary, and no heavy equipment will be going beyond the 25-foot buffer. And also, for record, this is Jamie Follett with Apex Companies.
So the excavation is up in the field, in the turf field.
Sure.
Beyond the 50, and then it's just manual work with maybe, a small, dolly or whatever at the base to pull it through. So I guess that's really the waiver,
Yeah.
So
but it's,
we should talk about let's talk about the project real quick and find out what the waiver is that they need. So, do you have any questions, comments, concerns?
I don't. I think we asked for some additional stockpile location and how the contractor was accessing it, and that was provided, so I think that was my only question.
Okay.
Yeah, and, I mean, the way I describe the most of the waiver is right down at the bank of the brook where they have to stage with erosion control and, work with the liner that they're putting in through the 30-inch pipe.
Gotcha.
So it's a kind of a temporary, is that right, Jamie?
Yeah.
Can you repeat the last part of it?
The waiver is centered around the bottom of that 30-inch pipe where it discharges to,
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the
yeah.
erosion controls are just protective precaution for pulling the liner through
line.
the pipe.
yeah, right. So,
That's all laid out in this.
Go ahead.
I got no questions.
Attaboy.
All set. If the engineers are happy, we're rarely happy. Well,
We're never happy.
As long as you're not parachuting in.
so is it a motion to approve the waiver as described?
So if you, what you're trying to do is approve the motion, approve the waiver, your motion should be specific to the waiver.
Right. So I'd make a motion to approve the waiver as detailed in the 25-foot no disturbance zone and 50-foot no build zone waiver request worksheet.
second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion or further discussion on it? Any further conditions or requirements to be imposed? I hear none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's unanimous. The waiver is granted.
You're happy with the information provided and
Well,
all
let's
questions?
find out. Are we good? Is everybody happy?
Yep.
And we could
Looking for a motion to close.
the hearing and issue.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and that's unanimous.
Thank you.
Jamie?
Okay. NACC number 347 Dale Street, Winter Street, Trinity Home Builders LLC, continued from 7/9/25. Mr. Sullivan.
Good evening.
How are you tonight?
I'm good. How is everyone doing?
Everybody's well. We're gonna let Amy go first. You may not have to speak.
Okay.
All right, so Commissioner would recall this is construction of a new single-family house. Work in the buffer zone involves removal of a gravel driveway next to an isolated wetland and restoring that footprint, shifting a new driveway down outside the 50 to connect to existing concrete garage that exists on the property, and then swinging to the east to connect to the house that is, and the septic system, which are outside of the buffer. Their associated grading is in the buffer to the isolated wetland. An additional wetland across the street was identified and flagged, so we have the buffer zone projecting onto the front part of the site, but limit of work remains outside of that. Engineer did some fine-tuning to make sure that we know that the water is not exiting off of the driveway into Winter Street. There's areas called out for snow stockpiling. Infiltration trench is called out. We have a replanting plan for the gravel driveway area. Let's see. We tightened up erosion controls closer to the work. Silt sacks in the catch basins in Winter Street are shown. He provided impervious surface summary table, existing versus proposed. I think that's, okay, it's less than an acre disturbance, so we won't need a SWIP or a land disturbance permit. I think I hit all of it. 16-foot wide driveway. So you narrow the driveway in some areas to reduce the pavement, right?
Yep.
Amy, the driveway needs a waiver?
No.
Doesn't?
Well, removal of the gravel driveway needs a waiver just because that's activity in the 25, but it's restoration, so. But it is work in the 25
Just asking if they.
to restore.
So are we,
I think, yeah, you'd vote to issue you'd vote to whether to grant the waiver for existing gravel driveway removal within the 25 and restoration of that footprint.
where it's existing, it still needs a waiver?
Well, it's work. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, if you feel that's gonna.
I mean, I get it. It's absolutely what we want them to do. I don't know.
If that'll make life better for Jack, we'll do that right now. Let's talk about the waiver and vote it up or vote it down. They want to remove the gravel driveway and replace it with a restoration. Anybody feel moved?
So motion to grant a waiver to work in the 25-foot zone to remove the gravel drive, existing gravel drive, and replace per the
With
plan.
native, yeah.
With the, yeah.
Thank you. Motion and a second. Any discussion? None. All those in favor say aye.
Hey,
Opposed? That's unanimous. You have the waiver.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Now,
So, I mean, Jack, if you want to add anything else
Yep,
to
I
the
think,
list?
for the record, Jack Sullivan, Sullivan Engineering Group, Amy did a good job. One of the concerns too was if any water would be draining from this driveway back onto Winter Street. It's not. I show how the driveway will pitch. I give spot grades, so no water's going back. But I would ask the commission, we would like to continue tonight. We did receive a letter from National Heritage, and they want a turtle, a TPP.
yep.
We just received that yesterday. So I just want, before we close anything, I just want to talk to my client, we want to talk to National Heritage, see what that entails.
We'll give you a continuance if you're asking for one. And
That's
you
what
still, you still have the waiver. It doesn't expire.
Okay, and I still haven't heard back on the septic design. That's all outside the 100-foot buffer anyways, but makes sense.
Just say the magic words, request a continuance.
So I think everything else we hit, and we provided everything the commission asked for at the last meeting.
just a point of clarification. I know it was brought up during the public comment period about another wetland across the street. Did we feel like we've resolved that? Okay.
Yeah, it's
Thank
on the
you.
plan, and the buffer zone is projected on the front.
Okay.
Following that meeting, I went back out and we have identified a C-Series offsite. Norse Environmental flagged it. I located the flags and we showed them in the protective buffers.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure we didn't continue and then have to ask you that question and have to continue again.
Take care of the driveway, the thing that's in our jurisdiction. What else is in our jurisdiction here?
Well, they have a homeowner's
Driveway.
intent in front of us that needs, we need to close and issue an order of conditions.
So the new driveway, just shifted over here.
Oh, that's the
Grading.
50, never mind.
Yeah, that's outside the 50 now.
Oh,
The new
I was
one.
looking at thought the 50 was 100.
It's still in the buffer, but it's outside the 50.
Brad, do you need more?
Maybe I should put them on. Never mind, I was hoping I could get out of it.
I'm just glad you can't see what's on those plans either. That makes me feel better.
All right.
All set.
I
All set.
don't-
Motion
it-
to continue.
Well, it is a public hearing. I don't know if anyone is here to, nobody's here. We did receive,
I'm seeing the head nod, shake
Right.
rather. I'm seeing the head shake, so I can identify that.
we did receive online contact from a butter, Ron Ford, on behalf of other abutters, a couple of comments, rounds of comments that came through online, and basically they're asking that the commission not allow any development of this property, and that perhaps it turns it into an area for picnic tables, and, recreation.
It's privately owned property, right?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. So,
So motion to continue for 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Can I, just before we, can I,
indeed.
I want to address the abutter comments, but Can we save that until we're actually considering?
You know what? Now's the perfect time. Go ahead and do that because the motion was going to be to continue.
And I'll second that motion for discussion.
Yeah, that's it. You
So
have the
it'll
floor.
be
You have the floor. It's all yours,
3
Matt.
weeks, actually. It's,
Oh,
our
sorry.
next meeting's the 13th of August.
Amend the motion to 3 weeks.
Which is fine.
Okay,
And
but
then you
we're in discussion phase between
Okay,
the motion and the second.
all right.
You have the floor.
Okay, I just wanted to say on the record that as a new commissioner especially, I appreciated the input from the abutters, both what was received by Amy that she forwarded along, and also there was somebody who spoke at the last meeting. I felt moved to say, we only have certain jurisdiction where this commission's only permitted to consider certain things that are happening in certain places. But definitely appreciate the input from anybody who submitted comments online or came here to talk to us. And I just wanted to put that on the record that, even though we may not be doing what they're asking us to do, we certainly, it was eye-opening for me to just receive that input. So, Mr. Chairman's going to be mad at me, but please keep the public comments coming where appropriate.
We always welcome public comments to the extent they're specific to the subject matter
Of course.
at hand. We do respect the public's right to speak.
So, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to amend my motion to be continued for 3 weeks until the August 13th meeting.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second amended continuance. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's unanimous. Continue for 3 weeks. Waiver intact.
Thank you.
All right,
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jack.
Jack, I read, that's the Blandings turtle you have on site?
Yep.
Yeah, there's very few of them left, so. We used to have a bunch of them down 125 across from Butcher Boy, where the Mexican restaurant is. But apparently, that took care of that. They're not there anymore.
All right, thanks.
All right, buddy, we'll see you.
Okay, bye.
All right, that was the notice of intents. We're at enforcement order violations. 135 North Ramp Road is up for a 30-day update. Is there anything new?
Well, yeah, I heard from Stantec, and they're assembling their team. They have an LSP identified, so they're gathering CVs for everyone so that we can see who they've got lined up.
Okay.
So they had asked for the 27th
Of
August.
August, okay.
Yeah.
I have no objection. Does anybody have any objection to that?
Could we just, remind me which project this is?
Oh, the glass pile at the airport.
Okay, thank you. That's what I
Yeah,
thought, but I wasn't
and
sure. Thank
did the
you.
enforcement order, and
Yep,
we
yep.
wanted,
Yep. Now it all comes back.
we
This is
wanted
the
the
glass pile
assembled
that's
team
directly
and
behind
everything like
Thompson.
that.
Yeah. No, I'm good, sorry.
All right, do you need a motion?
Yeah.
Motion to continue from somebody?
Motion to continue 242-1787. 135 North Ramp Road until August 27th.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's unanimous.
I'm going to abstain.
Oh, yeah,
So-
Marissa.
Which one, North Ramp?
Yes.
Okay, all right. 242-1878-30 Ann Road, Vidal. Request to continue to August 13th. They're requesting a continuance.
So moved.
Motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's unanimous. Continue to August 13th. 74 Sherwood Drive, Davis and Dupre, continued from 5/28/25.
So, since we are going to be issuing the order of conditions tonight for the pool project and the replanting on the slope, the order will take the place of the enforcement order, so we can vote to lift the EO and let the order of conditions rule.
Do you want the EO lifted now, or do you want to wait? Okay,
Yeah.
let's have a motion to lift it.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? That's unanimous.
Okay.
General new business, old business. 242-1906, 430 Osgood Street, North Andover High School, Public Schools, performance bond.
So Commission will recall issuing this order back in April for the Fields project, revamping the baseball diamond to a synthetic turf field and redoing the tennis courts. The order required a $50,000 bond, cash, that we usually do, to be paid by the contractor. The bid package actually went out in March, but and then the order of conditions got issued in late April, so it wasn't part of the bid package. During pre-construction meetings, this came to light, and Lori Burzloff, Assistant Town Manager, is the project manager for this project, and she has a request before you to consider, in lieu of the $50,000 cash bond, to allow for the $1.8 million surety bond that the contractor has put up for the overall job to serve in that capacity. She's here this evening, if you have anything else to add.
No, just that. I mean, it would basically mean we'd have to do an accounting adjustment if you're requiring it, because you're asking the town to pay the town. So we're all under one umbrella. The contracts with the town, it covers, they're insured, they have the performance bond. It's standard with all our public works contracts. It's actually the law.
Yeah.
So,
So I did, I'm not a lawyer, but I did a little research on surety bonds, because we've always required cash. And the reason we've always required cash is because it's the most secure way for us to ensure performance. If Joe Smith fails to perform or walks out on the project, we have their money. If they complete the project, they get it all back with interest. Everybody's happy, nobody's hurt. What I learned about surety bonds is it's a three-party contract. The three parties involved are the principal, the obligee, and the surety, or the company that guarantees the project. And I also learned that they have a shelf life, they expire. And they're not, they're more of a financial agreement, but the person that puts up the money for the surety bond doesn't get that money back. Whereas if they put up the cash, they get it all back with interest. So if you were to buy a $1 million surety bond and you had to put up, I don't know what the number is, say $10,000 of actual cash, all that money's gone. You don't get that back. The town doesn't get that back. And the more I looked into it, the more I learned that surety bonds are really a convoluted thing. Everybody likes them because the insurance companies sell them, they get the fee, and it's the person that needs the surety doesn't have to put up that much money, but they don't, that money's gone. And it depends upon when the date is of performance. And if the contractor that's listed on the surety sells or sublets out any portion of his work, that's not covered under surety.
Yep.
So that I'm giving you the reasons why I'm not in favor of the request. I live here just like you. I get it. I don't want to see the town spending money needlessly, but this is a project that's going to be completed by a private company, not the town. The town's not doing it, right? The town is just the customer.
right, but
So-
I guess it's not so much if you don't want to accept it's a performance bond, which means if they don't perform, we can use this to finish the project.
Yeah.
It's more of, and I understand completely why you wouldn't want to do that with a private party or anyone other than the town. You're asking yourself to give yourself a check. And so basically,
Yeah.
all it's doing is just taking that money away from the project, and it's kind of saying, like, you don't have faith in the town, that me personally, as project manager, is not going to make sure that every single thing that
But
is
you're the
required to be done is done before I release final payment to them. I make all the payments.
But you're the customer.
Right.
You're the customer for the project, and you're hiring ABC Construction to do the work. You're gonna put out an RFP, I would guess, unless you've done it already.
It's already done.
You've already done the RFP.
We're already
so-
under contract with them, the work's already begun.
Yeah. I mean-
The money's been allocated, and basically how it works is we do progress payments, and when the engineer signs off on it, then we sign off on it, and we make the progress payments. I'm responsible for making sure the payments are not made unless the work that they've completed is done. So it's my understanding that the purpose of this is to make sure that they do what they're supposed to do. And
Right.
because we're all the town, we're covered by that because that's my job. I can lose my job if I pay a contractor that has not completed the work.
Yeah,
So that's kind of the reason why we're asking for
So-
that on this particular project. I would never expect you to do it for a private party or anyone other than the town, because we're the ones that are paying the contractor.
so I get that, I get that. I understand that we are paying the contractor, but that's where the rub is. When the contractor either fails to perform or goes away or goes belly up, what then?
But he wouldn't have his money. I have the project money. So we would, first step is we would go after the contractor for that if they're belly up or whatever,
Yeah.
but we would still have the money with the town. I wouldn't pay a contractor who walked off the job and didn't complete it. We don't pay them up front all the money. We
No,
pay them in progress, so they only get paid for work they completed.
I
So if
get
they
that.
don't complete the job, then I still have the money in our capital account to pay someone else to do the job and finish it.
What I think I learned from reading the primer on surety bonds was that it's not quite that simple. It requires an action, a court action by the town to seek after the money that you wouldn't have to do if it were a cash bond. Because we've had, you may remember, we've had contractors fail to complete jobs here that we've had to try to finish the job with the money. We have to seize the bond and then use that money to finish the job. That's the purpose of how we establish the value. And
Right, but I think
The
I
surety-
think the part that is getting confused here is
Yeah.
the contractor's not paying it, the town is. We're not getting it from the contractor. It wasn't something we required from them because
why
it's
isn't the
not
contractor putting up a performance bond?
Because it wasn't part of the bid. It's not standard practice for us to do that because we get a performance bond. So the reason why we understood that we were going to bid before we had the decision by conservation, we're fully aware of that. But we had to do that because the project wasn't going to get done in time. We actually went to bid before town meeting, and in the bid, it stated that it was subject to approval at town meeting. So we wanted to have everything lined up, so as soon as the baseball team finished using the field at the end of June, we could start, because we're on such a tight schedule as it is.
Yeah.
So that's why we went out to bid when we did, and we signed the contract with Heimlich as soon as town meeting ended. So it's on us, it's on the town to pay that $50,000, which is fine. It's just an accounting thing. We're just gonna, but it just doesn't make sense because you're writing a check to yourself.
But how much are you writing a check for the surety bond?
Nothing.
The surety bonds are not free. You have to buy them.
No, that's not, that is the contract to provide it. We already have a payment bond with a performance bond with the
But
contractor.
that's my point.
It's
See,
required by mass law. Any public works project over a certain amount will require a performance bond.
So what's the expiration date on the surety bond?
The expiration of the contract.
Does it say that on the bond, on the surety bond?
Let's see.
Because it has to say it.
Well, it references the contract for the North Andover High School athletic improvements. Shall promptly make payment to all persons, firms, blah, blah, blah. So it references the contract, but,
Okay. All right, I'm going to thank you for answering my questions.
Yeah.
I'm going to let the commission weigh in one way or the other, and see where we go. Do you want to start, Marissa?
Sure. I don't know a ton about different bonds like Al does, I guess.
I know less than you think. I was going on
You
the phone.
sound
I
very
went on
educated
Google
on it.
to learn about, I Googled surety bonds and
But did you Google performance bond by any chance?
surety, yeah, that's what I have in front of me.
Performance bond,
Yeah.
not surety bond.
Yep, yep.
And did it come up with the Mass General Law that requires it? Because it explains it in there.
Say it again, I'm sorry.
It explains it in the law, what the requirement is.
So I guess my only comment is it sounds like the town put it out to bid at risk, and the risk was, this is the bond, and so that's kind of what we're dealing with right now.
I mean, I think Laurie's very candid about it.
Yeah.
I don't question that. I'm just, the problem I'm having is, I'm kind of old school this way, you know, like, if I have your money, you're gonna do the job, or you're not gonna get your money back. If you do the job, you're gonna get your money back with interest. With a surety, it's not quite that simple. They're more difficult from what I read. But not being an attorney, I don't have those answers either. But anyway, that's why I wanted to, like whatever the town paid for you said the surety bond was paid for by the contractor.
It's a requirement of their contract, yes.
So the contractor is actually the beneficiary of the surety bond,
No, we are.
listed as the beneficiary.
We are.
We have to be
As
sure,
we are
because
on
it-
their,
I
on
know.
their insurance as well. We're listed as an additional insured on their insurance as well.
Okay, all right. All right, go
I
ahead.
just had one last question. So there couldn't have been like an amendment to the bid contract to have the contractor pay for it?
We could, it would just be a change order, and we would end up having to pay actually more. So it's not so much the fact, I totally understand what you're getting at with the bond, but actually I'm not asking you to accept the bond. I'm just asking you to look at it sort of from a common sense perspective. You want me to go to the town accountant and ask them to take town funds to give to the town.
Well, now, yes,
Yeah.
because if the order was part of the bid, the contractor would be cutting the check.
Right, but that
And that's-
also increases.
And that's how it goes.
Right, and I get that, and I'm fine with that. It's just, it doesn't make sense for the town to write the town a check. That's all we're asking. If you want us to do it, we'll do it. It's just $50,000. It's gonna come out of the capital improvement project budget. They're not gonna write you a check. Kyle will do an accounting
shift.
transaction.
Just let us work this, let us work
Okay.
through this. We,
So can I,
Can we
before,
get through the rest of the commissioners first?
yeah, go ahead.
I'm trying to. I'm working my way down the table.
All right.
So,
When were bids due for this thing?
April 16th or something like that, middle of April?
So like right after we issued?
No, before. We issued it April 30th.
Oh, so we issued it
Oh, yeah, they
after,
went
so,
out to bid when we were still having
I know out to bid, but
Public
bids
hearings.
back, I mean,
bids back by April.
yeah. So there
6th. It
was
the
no
middle of
opportunity
April.
to do an amendment. So,
We could have done an addendum. But then
That's
that would have
after.
amended the bids and it would have been a change order.
yeah.
So, yeah.
So I mean, I get it. It's the surety bond. I have seen this vehicle plenty of times. I have no issue with thinking that the project's going to get built with some of the provisions Mass requires. And at the end of the day, she's right. We're just moving money from one place in the town to another. It seems a little silly at this point.
well, let's get down to the table and see where we go.
Yeah, I mean, just considering performance bonds, I think, one of the things, I think most of the time, if not nearly all the time, our project managers are very diligent, the people that are executing these projects. Some of them are homeowners. They really have a vested interest in getting it done right. However, sometimes there are hidden defects. And in fact, we just talked about one on North Ramp Road, where the applicant put in a notice of intent and was beginning work on that, and then there was a huge erosion event that further contaminated wetlands, and we had a cash bond on that, and we were able to use that as leverage to get immediate action and pretty effective action to make that happen. Now, under Al's the suggestion, I did a little bit of research on surety bonds as well, and it seems like if something like that happens, the surety, the insurance company, begins an investigation. So that's the next step, is they begin an investigation. And then what happens is, if there are any financial damages, then they'll cover them to sort of work, to make it happen. But then whoever bought the surety bond to begin with, the contractor in this case, would be on the hook to make the surety whole on all those damages. Seems like a lot of mechanisms, and with all good intentions, sometimes there are hidden defects that do impact wetland areas, and when they do impact them, oftentimes will make permanent damage, and time is of the essence. So it works better with a cash bond. So I would agree with the chairman on that amount, and for those reasons.
That's fine.
Dave?
So, I also did some research. We spent a lot of time doing research before this meeting. And I think, I wish we hadn't started with, or the validity and the efficacy of a surety bond, a cash deposit, a performance bond, to me, is not the material issue. The material issue is the one I raised at our last meeting, which is, why do we require a bond at all on municipal projects? And so that was the question I strove to understand. And the first thing that I learned, going to the Massachusetts Association of Conservation Commission's handbook, which we luckily have access to, the first thing it says is that there is no statutory authority for conservation commissions to require performance bonds or performance securities, that is granted by the town in the bylaws. So the town is the party, the town meeting issued a set of bylaws, 190 section C subsection B of which grants us the authority as the commission to require performance deposits. Okay, so keep in mind, this gets back to the who's the we in all of this. The we here is the town, and the town granted us as the commission the authority in our orders of condition to require performance, I'm sorry, I always butcher the term, security to assure performance, okay? And I think we all agree, in a lot of instances, when it comes to private entities, that makes a lot of sense. Al, to use your analogy, I'm old school, I've got your money, right? But essentially, to mimic a little bit of what Lori was saying, the town gave us the authority, and we're now using that authority to make the town pay us money to ensure that the town is going to ensure that a contractor does the, like, you can see the flow of logic. So then I thought, okay, let's assume we get whether it's a town, whether it's a private entity, whatever, we have this check. We have deposited somewhere, I don't know all the financial information, but we have deposited a check and a bond. The party is not, for whatever reason, we have decided we need to exercise that bond. Who does that? I couldn't find anything that makes it explicitly clear in the bylaws or the regulations that says, in the instance that the bond has to be exercised, here's who does it. However, in the section on fines, it says, in subsection, so this is 190-10 subsection C, the town shall be the beneficiary of all fines imposed on account of the violations of this bylaw or promulgated regulations in order to defray the expense of enforcing the same. Subsection D, upon request of the commission, the Board of Selectmen and the town council shall take such legal action as may be necessary to enforce this bylaw or promulgated regulations and permits issued pursuant to it. I graduated law school a long time ago. I'm not a practicing attorney, but I look at that and say, well, it sounds to me like in order to enforce our own regulations, we have to go to the town and say, could you hire a contractor to go out and secure this site? Or could you hire, as we've done in another instance, an attorney or a special counsel to pursue action on this violation. So in the absence of something, and again, town council could find it if I can't, because I couldn't. In the absence of something that says this is what happens when the bond, I look at this language and say, well, at least this lays out what happens if it's a fine, sort of ipso facto, this is probably what happens in the case of a bond. And then finally, thank you for indulging me, in our regulations, subsection 10, when it comes to security, it reads, the commission may require the applicant to furnish a performance guarantee in the form of a deposit of money in an amount determined by the commission to be sufficient to cover the cost of all or any part of the site alterations specified in the permit and/or shown on the plans approved by the commission. The security shall be deposited in the name of the town of North Andover, not in the name of the commission, not in some escrow account, in the town of North Andover. So I'm just illustrating Lori's point of, not only are we asking the town to deposit money into a different town account, but then we would have to go back to the town to access that money. And so we're right back where we started anyway. So, again, I understand, and I wish this whole thing had come up differently, and I'm sort of more focused on the broader policy than how to deal with this specific issue. But I think this specific issue sort of led me to continue to ask the questions about why, when it's a municipal project, are we requiring a bond at all? And I am the first to admit that I do not have all the information or all the history. What I have is what's written in our bylaws and our regulations. And so to my way of thinking, I think we've got the assurances that we need in other places, and whether, and on any, I will just say, on any municipal project, I am going to ask why we're asking for a bond. And if you all decide you want to make the commission, you want to make the town pay a cash deposit bond, that's fine. If I'm the only no vote, then I'm the only no vote, but that's how I view it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank
I have no idea how to follow that. If we were to insist on a cash bond, what doesn't get done? You said it comes from some capital line item. Like what doesn't get done while that money's deposited as a cash bond?
It would, you mean for the project?
I mean, that's $50,000 of the town's money.
Right, so it's part of our contingency, should something come up, like say when they're digging at the high school and a pipe's broken, like we always have a certain percentage of our construction cost in contingency. So we would have that, we would just take it out of the contingency, it would just decrease our contingency that we have if something were to come up and we'd need to use it. All depending on when you would release it, whatever's left at the end of the project, we would then see, I don't know if you looked at the bid, I know Amy asked for it. There were 10 alternates. We were only able to do up to four or five, can't remember exactly. So we would go back and ask the school what their priorities are for the rest of the funds.
So it's not like some potholes don't get filled if we insist on a cash.
The only time, no, it's all, so the money would come out, so at town meeting, 3.2 million was approved from the capital improvement plan for this project. That $50,000 will come out of that 3.2, as does the money that needed to be paid for the wetlands restoration, the money for the plan for the entire high school that was never done. We took that 3 million and we subtracted all of those things before we decided what alternates we could take for the project. So that would basically be just one more thing that we're subtracting from the 3.2 million.
But it's effectively sort of a contingency
It is.
portion of those funds.
It is. It's
Okay,
just,
thank you.
it's, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
And just a quick response, Dave, sorry further.
No, go ahead.
So in this particular case, where we've kind of missed the boat on getting the contractor to put up this 50K, I can see where it's completely silly to require them. But in the world where we've gotten out ahead of it and it's part of the bid package, I think I'm still behind having the contractor put it up even for a muni project.
Yeah, like I said,
But that's neither here nor there.
Here,
for this
neither here nor
discussion.
there without the specifics. What I would say is, what occurred to me is the town granted us this authority. The town may amend or remove this authority, should they,
Oh, if we choose them off here is what you're saying?
I'm not saying you react out of fear, because it still has to go to town meeting, right? But at some point, the town giveth, the town taketh away, right? And so I think it bears some discussion and some thoughtful review of, and I'm talking specifically about municipal projects, right? Private projects, I'll vote yes on bonds all day long. But on municipal projects, it seems like a little convoluted. But again, you guys live in this world. I don't. I'm telling you what the statute and the bylaws say.
I think this was I think as Lori said, it was kind of like because of the fast track nature and the fact that they had to go to bid before they got the OC, like, this is hopefully a one-off, and in the future contract, it would be included. And
DBW, other projects, they include the order with the bid, and the contractor knows, I gotta cough up 50 grand or whatever it is, and they do.
And so it's all factored in,
It's-
and this sounds like it was a scheduling.
Sure, and,
thing.
Yes.
but what I was getting at is, there is, just the way my brain works, there is sort of this larger question of, okay, like to Lori's point, I understand usually you'd get the contractor to pay it,
Yeah.
but like, there's this point where it's like, okay, the contractor pays money. Anyway, I'm not gonna rehash my whole thing. I'm saying, I think in this particular one, I don't know how we sort of get to where I think we all wanna be, but I wanted to highlight the fact that, like, we could have also just said, we don't need a bond at all.
Okay, well, that's a good further topic of discussion.
Yeah.
Yes. Agree to disagree.
Right, no, that's what I'm saying. Like,
So-
I agree,
So-
to disagree.
So let's move it and see how it shakes out. Let's just do it.
Any public questions?
No, this is not a public hearing, sorry.
Sorry. So I guess I need a motion.
Motion to approve the request to issue the $1.8 million surety bond in lieu of the conservation bond.
Motion and a
Second.
second. Any further discussion? I hear none. All,
Sorry, can I just ask, are we amending?
no, this is a motion to approve the request.
Yeah.
Which essentially amends or strikes the condition that requires the 50K bond.
Okay.
And
I just wanted,
that's basically what it
mechanically want to
does.
see what we're doing.
Yes, yep,
For this particular order of conditions?
yes.
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 I'm sorry.
For this
Thank you.
particular.
That's a good
I
question.
misheard you, I'm sorry.
No.
Yep.
So we have a motion and a second. Any further? All those in favor of approving the request?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
The ayes have it, and the request is approved.
How many ayes? I'm sorry.
There was only one no, I don't vote unless it's a tie.
Okay, all right, so 1, 2, 3.
So it was not a tie, so I don't vote.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd love to see some dates on this thing, because it's all blank.
Okay.
Like, I don't even, I have no idea when people signed it, so there's dates here, and then there's dates up there. never
Okay.
dated, so
Yeah,
I think that would be
I'll
good.
ask them to reissue it.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank you.
And then I sent you the wetlands restoration scope.
Oh, great,
Is there anything else? You saw the shed was moved?
shed's gone, yes.
We're
Hood's
gonna
in.
get our raises now, Larry?
Okay. Am I gonna get a raise now?
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
We were looking for 50% raise.
I think that's a town meeting decision.
Yeah, right.
Well, seeing how we get nothing, 50% of nothing is.
Pretty good.
Bring it to town meeting article, add it on. Right? You've got all your boards, just put it at the bottom.
Thank you. We'll do that. All right,
All right, decisions.
so we're on decisions. And
74 Sherwood, we closed at the last
give the gavel to
meeting.
Mr. Bailey. I have to go to the.
Okay. So 74 Sherwood is the in-ground pool and replanting.
So, Mr. Chairman, I just have can I ask a question that's not necessarily specific to the OOC, but to the project in general?
Sure.
Okay. So Amy, can you just help me remember the timeline involved here? Because I think I've pieced most of it together through the emails, but I want to make sure I understand, because some of this happened before
Yeah.
I came on the commission. So the applicant, be it the homeowner themselves or their pool contractor, at some point in like early this year, like
Yes.
in the winter still,
Yes, March.
approached you, I believe, or approached staff. There was not something before the commission yet, correct?
So they submitted for a building permit for a pool.
Right. And
And I said-
included in that, was there some discussion or determination that the project would be outside of the buffer?
So.
Because I saw an old email with like a GIS
Yeah,
map, but I didn't know what it meant.
The project engineer provided, I said, you gotta show me something that's gonna tell me it's out of the buffer.
Yeah.
And so I said, so they took GIS.
Yep.
And then I went out to verify and saw that the trees were gone.
Okay.
But also did measurements just to verify, is GIS right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't. There was a little bit of the patio that was gonna be in the buffer, so
Okay.
I was like, we gotta issue an EO for the cutting.
Yeah.
And then they secured wetland consultant to actually do the delineation, so now we have a better, more accurate, and so we said, okay, part of the pool is within the buffer, so now we
Okay.
need to, let's roll all of this together into a notice of intent for the pool and the replanting.
Okay.
So that's kind of how,
Okay. That helps clarify things.
Yeah.
So just, do you mind if I repeat it back so I make sure I under?
Yeah,
So,
that's it.
so they approached you, said, hey, we think this GIS map shows that the project's
Yeah.
outside. You went to verify
Yeah.
that.
yeah,
Then also discovered that they had cut some
Cut
trees that
trees.
they shouldn't have. Then in the process of them hiring a wetlands consultant to do everything, then we discovered the line was even, like, so I'm just saying, it's like at
Yes.
every step, that
It
line
was like
moved a little bit
moved
more and a little
yeah,
bit more.
yes, yes.
Okay. Got it. Thank
Yep.
you.
Yep.
That's not unusual.
No, I guess there was a part of me that both was sympathetic and unsympathetic, by which I mean, they shouldn't have cut the trees down. But I was gonna feel really bad if they thought and feel bad, not different than what we would do here, but like, hey, in January, they thought they were green light to have a pool, and here we are, July 23rd,
Yeah.
finally giving them the permission.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna let them do any work until.
No,
I
no, no, no.
verified
What I'm
and-
getting at is like sort of putting myself in the homeowner's
Yeah.
shoes of like, and again, they made a huge mistake cutting, like, the tree thing is a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to minimize
Yeah,
that, but what I'm
yeah.
saying is it's like, oh, we looked at a GIS map, we thought we were good, and now here we are,
Right.
6 months later, finally getting permission to install the pool.
What likely would have happened then is Amy would have found the same thing when she went out to the site. That their
I,
plan-
absolutely,
Yeah, they were
absolutely.
in and-
I'm not quibbling. I just wanted to understand and also, I think, empathize a little bit with like,
Yeah, that sucks.
like, damn. But hey, you also cut the trees down, like, which is how the line kept,
Right.
you know. And so I just wanted to make sure I understood all of that. Thank you for.
Where did we end up with the? Sorry, I didn't mean.
No,
to
no, you're good. I'm
interrupt.
done. I'm
Where-
done.
Where did we end up with the wetland markers? Are we okay with matching them on trees, or did we say that we wanted posts? I can't
So I
remember.
recall the discussion.
Well, let's see.
Well, preference was posts.
Okay, because it says
'Cause
either
we didn't-
or.
We didn't want them on trees.
Yeah, no, we're okay with that.
Okay with what?
Um,
Posts?
markers on trees.
Wouldn't you rather have it on a post than have it on a tree and have the bark grow
Well,
over it?
yeah.
We seem to go back and forth on
Yeah, it. This is either or. I don't know enough about trees to know.
So,
When you walk through the woods, you can come upon trees that have barbed wire
Growing right
the middle
through 'em.
because the old farmers used to nail everything to the trees, and it grows over it. Whereas if we put in steel fence posts,
Yeah.
or
This. I like that. I like steel better
so
than cedar.
actually, since the wetlands off-site at the bottom of the slope, here's their rear property line. So I was just gonna have them put it at their rear property line. I'm not gonna make them go all the way down the slope to the 25 off property to put the wetland markers. So I just measured out, let's do every 35 feet or whatever, 30, whatever it is. And then I think, We can do post if you want.
I-
Are there trees there?
Yes. Yep. Yeah,
So
it's
just
a
to go
wooded
back to
slope.
Marissa's point for one quick second, I just want to note, I think there was another project where we had this same conversation.
Yeah,
And so I just want to make sure we're consistent.
that's, yeah.
Because I remember having, because everybody looked
So-
at me to ask, like, was it okay for the tree? And I'm like, not an arborist adjacent. Like,
Yeah.
so I just, sometimes we seem to be okay with
Yeah.
trees, sometimes we're not. I would just like to see us be consistent. That's all.
Hard to be consistent if the trees are not available, if the trees are available or if. the-
No, but I'm saying, but you're saying, I'd rather have it on a post. So if we're going to just
Every
say
time,
post,
every
Let's say
time.
Yeah.
My
All right.
preference would always be
Okay.
not on a tree.
that's what I'm getting at.
But I understand it's not always practical.
Okay.
So you gotta be
Some-
flexible with
yeah.
these things, you know?
Got it. Okay.
It's a very subjective science.
And I recall when we closed this last meeting, we were talking about putting them on trees, but trees might not be available for
Right.
the spacing
The
that we
space,
were
yeah, that
looking
was where it came
for.
up with the walkway, 1, 2, at the retirement community.
Yeah.
We had the same conversation, I think.
We had a,
And you would put them on posts in those instances. So, in my memory, I don't know, in my memory, it's typically been on trees unless,
Unless there's no tree to be had.
unless there's no trees, you put them on posts to make it
I mean, I
happen,
don't
so.
care either way.
there's a gentleman on Hillside Road that put in granite fence posts and put them on
Ooh.
there. Because he liked the idea of it and he wanted to make it look better.
Hmm.
So he spent on granite.
It's
Fancy.
kind of like a post and rail fence is temporary. I think these posts are temporary.
That's true enough.
Trees are
Can't
permanent.
argue with that. The tree is likely to be more permanent, provided it's a healthy tree.
Yeah.
I will say that I see the posts just like knocked over and destroyed more frequently than I see signs like destroyed on trees.
Well, then we're
I
gonna go
mean,
back to the way-
sometimes, obviously, but
We'll go back to the same, our old follow-through at the discretion and direction of the administrator in the field.
Okay.
And if you leave it that way there, you can't go wrong.
Punting is always an option.
Nothing wrong with punting the football.
Condition number 52, I didn't know if the commission wanted,
Yeah.
require the restoration planting to be done before construction or no later than a date, or maybe spring of next year, or whatever you think. I know they're anxious to start the pool. The pool contractor's on my tail, so,
I mean, they're not gonna go plant now, and they wanna start the pool now.
right,
So,
September or spring. I mean, then they're gonna have to have 2 years monitoring, so I
Yeah.
think they'd wanna get it in as soon as they can, maybe this fall.
yeah.
Does that make
fall
sense?
growing season.
Yeah,
I think you can plant in the fall.
Yeah.
so I just threw out September
Al,
30th.
so plant
So
in the
you
fall?
want to take out prior to
You can,
construction?
I said prior to construction, but no later than September 30th, 2025.
So you're giving them the option.
Yeah,
That reads to me like it has to be before the
Yeah.
construction, but if the construction's next year, you still have to. plant the
I
trees
see what
last
you're
Yeah,
saying.
that's-
No,
yeah.
all right, so let's strike prior to construction, say no later than September.
Yeah,
All right,
good catch.
okay. Okay.
Why the focus on, 52 to 58 deal with, seems to be like the plantings, the restoration
Yeah.
area. Why such a focus on that for this one, Amy? Just
Well,
curious.
it's just because it was a result of an enforcement order. We
Of the
just want to
cutting.
make sure they live.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, you guys,
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. I just, usually we just skip over these, but I wanted to know what your thinking was
Yeah.
on highlighting these.
yeah.
Yep. That's-
Any other?
Ready for a motion?
Everybody happy with this 242-1913? Were there any amendments?
Yeah,
Okay, so I need a motion as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, and that's unanimous.
okay.
242-1912?
Yep. So this is the pipe repair at Walsh Stadium.
sometimes the yellow hurts and sometimes helps and sometimes it hurts. Amy, on this, does there, and maybe I'm just not seeing it, does there have to be something that specifically says a waiver has been granted, or is that,
I think I had,
and maybe I'm just not seeing it, that's also a possibility.
page 2, halfway down.
Oh, my goodness, I did just miss it, I'm sorry, thank you. Got it, thank you, thanks, Jack. Mayday. Hey, it took me 2 months to stop calling him John, so, you know.
We can work with you, don't worry.
The beatings will continue until
Until
you
the
get the names
morale-
right. Yeah,
until
until
morale
morale
improves.
improves.
Every barracks has that. All right, any amendments to this?
We're requiring a bond of 2,000.
Yep. It says the contractor shall provide a check payable to the town.
There you go, yeah.
So, still fair game until amended. Everybody good? We ready to vote on this?
Motion to approve the decision of DEP file 242-1912.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and that's unanimous. 1912 is issued. Dale Street? NACC, no Dale Street?
We continued that.
Yeah, we did, Jack.
Oh, that's right, we took care of it.
And then.
That's right.
Cultural heritage.
That's right. So we just,
Totals.
We already did Winthrop. Because we voted during that,
yeah, the DSM one,
we already voted,
we voted that one in already, and that's gonna be issued within 3 weeks.
yes.
Okay. So I don't see anything else on the agenda.
You voted, you added all the conditions to this
Yes.
one? Okay, perfect.
Anybody
So we
feel
don't need
moved?
to issue a decision on this?
She already voted.
Hold on. You guys good down there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a motion to adjourn. I need a second.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, next unanimous. We're adjourned.